Her name is Lyas Bozel. She thought she had the perfect life. Lisa was named top entrepreneur by Day Spa magazine, and she knows the beauty secrets to the stars. She has received accolades from beauty editors in Vogue, Cosmo, Allure, InStyle, and other magazines for her award-winning Day Spa. Through her seventh sense of intuition, her awareness unearthed realities about her life and unveiled untruths that have been hidden for generations and changed the foundation of her life forever. In that life-changing experience, Lisa defined and refined herself a new life.
I'm Lyas Bozel, and you're watching Inspiration Nation. Thank you, Diane, for being on my show again. It's great to have you as a guest.
Very happy to be here again.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
So tell me about what you do again so the viewers can know what you do.
Well, I do hypnosis, and hypnosis is all about guiding people. There isn't anything that I can do to them, but it's guiding people to help them make the changes that they want to make in their life. And it's, as we know, the changes happens all up in here. It's not so much you set goals and you do these things. It's the way your belief system of what you believe your abilities are, what you believe is going on with your life. Anything that you believe or you put out there is what you manifest. So in hypnosis, it's a state where we work at talking to the subconscious mind, which is the operating system, and getting a handle on what these belief systems are doing. And it could be doing great things. It could be manifesting wonderful jobs. But most of the time I see them, they're very anxiety-ridden and they're stressed. And they're coming from a place of fear and lack. And you wonder how they got there, but their subconscious is only giving them these emotions of anxiety, of fear, to protect them, is what the subconscious thinks is going on. This is what the subconscious thinks is a need to protect. And so these are the emotions that are generated. Well, when you generate more of these emotions, you get more of these emotions, and you get circumstances more of these emotions. So I work with my clients to uncover their belief systems, and we kind of together, actually it's not me, it's the client does it all. I just am like a little guide, but they begin to see that that's an old operating system, and really it's a belief system that it just got programmed in there at a very early age, and it keeps being reinforced by our media and all the way the circumstances are around us right now.
Mm-hmm. So the hypnosis, so when you correct a thought process that's destructive or hindering to someone.
I don't really want to say it's a correction. It's an
adjustment.
It's an adjustment and modification. You stay within the client's core values of who they are. So it's not like I go in and interject or place any judgment on where they are. I'm just helping them to see that the anxiety and the fear and the stress is really destroying them. It's destroying their body, and it's not helping them in any way.
Right.
So we go in and work on those and they can manifest in all kinds of strange ways. Obsessive compulsive disease, phobias, fear of flying, all kinds of. It just manifests in very crazy ways. Well, my judgment is being crazy, but to them, it's a very real.
So when you help to modify their thought process, is that a permanent modification, or is it a temporary one so they can recognize what's going on, and then they consciously recognize and say, okay, I don't need to be here anymore? Or
Well, actually,
is it permanent?
It's not. That's not done consciously. That's done with the subconscious mind, and they actually give themselves. We go in. Let's give an example. There's something we talked about age regression last time, but let's talk about. There's something called parts therapy in hypnosis. Parts, and we go in and we talk to. We know there's a part that really enjoys drinking and drinking excessively, and then they're seeing me because there's a part that doesn't want to drink like that. It's affecting their life in other ways, and there may be another part coming apart that they're not personalities per se, but we call them parts because it's something that's dividing, giving the client kind of they're just stuck. They can't go forward. They really enjoy the drinking. They really enjoy the alcohol.
It's like compartmentalization. Is that what it's like?
Yeah,
inside?
But it's not. I mean, what we do is we go in and we have them give all the parts that usually there's a child and there may be a disciplinarian in the parts. And these aren't sub-personalities. I don't want to give it that much of a distinction.
I understand, but they are predispositioned within their personalities.
Right. We're very complex, and it's part of what's running them. And when we have them all speak, because they're all making that person, and they're all, everything that you do there's a reason that's running it. And it may be a destructive behavior. It may be, you're biting your nails excessively, but there is a part of you that is going to justify why that is being done. And we can get to that part, and then we bring the other sides, the other views, and this is all coming from the client. The client is saying it all. And they begin to understand that the part of them that thinks that drinking is good and excessive drinking and excessive getting to drinking to where they black out or whatever, that just because that makes the client feel good. That's lots of times what they say. It makes her happy, it makes her feel good. And then the other part is the one, but we got to go to work and she feels so bad. And so we bring all that together, and we work on merging those belief systems. They're really we call them parts in their belief systems. And now that, if we got just one simple thing we're working on, maybe nail biting or something, maybe we can resolve that in one time. If we're getting more complex things, because of course alcohol abuse we've got the whole addiction part of it and all of that, it can be more complicated, but that's one process of hypnosis that we use to help people kind of learn more about themselves and uncover really what their operating system is doing.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, because you do have different parts of your personality, and we always hear about self-talk, your self-talk, but it's those compartmentalized parts that are in us that make decisions on our behalf or justify our behavior, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
I want to eat that piece of chocolate cake. I know I shouldn't. It's 1,000 calories. I know I shouldn't be having it, but it tastes really good, so I'm going to have it anyway.
And also the other side of that is it's releasing a lot of serotonin and dopamine receptors when you eat that piece of chocolate. But then a better way to describe it is, you said it. You've got, you're a wife, you're a mother, you may have a job where you're a teacher, you're a sister-in-law, you're a daughter. These are all a personality that you put out when you're in those roles that you're playing. That's very similar with what I'm talking about.
Right.
In
So all of your jobs, in essence, that you do in your daily life, they all have, they're a part of you.
Yes.
So each one of those has its own defined personality. Like when you're at work, you behave differently than when you're at home. When you're with your husband, you're acting differently than when you're with your child. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I never thought of it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
So, and you have a certain way that you act in your belief system when you're being the wife or when you're being the friend with the girlfriend. So, you know, it's a very layered, complicated system our minds have.
That's very layered.
It's very fulfilling to me when I see, and I honestly, as a therapist, we don't do anything. We don't do any talk therapy. We just bring it up to the point where the client can to make the suggestions to themselves, because you can't just tell people to change beliefs. Those are really ingrained, yes. But when they can begin to unfold it themselves, then they begin to, it's a totally different story. So that's why I like this business so much, because we don't do talk therapy. We're not even, as a hypnotherapist, you're not even licensed in that realm. That takes a psychologist. But we are very good at getting the client to a place. It may not even be a relaxed state. We call it a deeply relaxed state. Like just helping them get to a place where they can allow their conscious mind to kind of set aside. We call that the critical mind. Just let it kind of set aside while the subconscious kind of begins to open up and reveal just what its operating system is all about.
Mm-hmm. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So how long does it take if somebody comes to you with an emotional issue? How many sessions does it usually take before you see about some results?
Usually, I always schedule a minimum of 3 sessions, just in general. But in 3 sessions, sometimes I've been moving it now to 4 to 5, because the final one, even though we've got things kind of locked in, I really work on teaching them self-hypnosis, because that's where it's at. When they learn that they don't even need me to help guide them to begin to look at it's inner work. It's all inner work. And when they learn that that's something they can do themselves, I know that they've been very successful. Yeah. But I have people come back like once a year for kind of like a touch-up, for like just for a feeling good thing. Yeah, and I love that too.
That's great. Well, Diane, thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you.
I'm very excited. I'm going to come and see you myself and see what we can find out.
Yeah, we may even reveal all.
Yeah, well, we'll let everybody know what's going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Lyas Bozel, and you're watching Inspiration Nation.